And that might be kind of irrational. It might be kind of an irrational belief for me to say that about Zion. Because like you said, they have CJ, they have Brandon Ingram, they have
Yeah,
so many guys who can get their own. So the points are going to be divided up between a lot of guys. Um,
yeah, that's my
but man, this
reasoning.
is just kind of a hope. It's an irrational hope. Because I love Zion. I love seeing Zion on the court. I love seeing him succeed.
I agree.
Um, if he could have a season like that where he scores up around 30 points a game, has like 12, 13 rebounds, and he's going to shoot over 60% from the field, most
Right,
likely.
right.
He gets to the line. It's irrational. It is. It is. But that take is one that I like to hear it. I loved when I was sent that take.
Okay, but say if somehow Joel gets 30 points again, 30 and 12.
Right.
You
I'm not
go,
saying he'll win. I'm just saying he'll be
yeah,
top three.
that's what I'm saying. So like, what if that happens? You know, Luke. What if Luca just has James Harden for some reason averages 36 this year? Just something, I don't know. It just depends. I guess it just depends on what other players do. I'll say.
It's irrational. I get it. It's
Yeah,
irrational.
it could happen depending on how the rest of the league plays, but I'll say I have him in top five. I'll say top five. Three, I don't.
You actually do.
Top 10
Be
for sure.
honest. Be honest.
Honestly, top 10 for sure.
Okay.
I'll say, but realistically, for me, I put him at five or six.
That's still high.
That's still
That's
high,
still higher
but I
than a lot of
mean,
people.
but it's just I get he hasn't played, but when he plays, it's I think when he was played, I think his last season it was 61 games. I think he averaged what 27,
It was
26, 27.
27-12 and over 60% from the field.
So I could very well see it. It's just we have to wait and see. But I'll leave him at five or six.
And that was his first full
That's
season
what I'm
too.
saying. First full
He
season,
has
yeah.
so much room to grow. It's it's so interesting the direction of the Pelicans team in general because it's all fueled by what does Zion look like? What
Right,
Zion are we going to get?
right.
Um, Hotness scale for this one, it's a 5 for me because me personally, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. I want it to happen irrationally. Um, but when I'm thinking logically, my better judgment brings me down from where I am right now. But for the sake of the show, for the sake of the entertainment of the show, Zion will be a top 3 MVP candidate stamped by me.
I'll give him a seven.
It's understandable.
I'll say seven.
Understandable. Like I said, if you wanna clip this and bring it back to me, I take full blame. I take full responsibility.
Watch him just I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. It might be a clip for sure.
All right, I'm done. I'm done. I'm off of it now. I'm sorry. Sorry, I got excited.
All right, my next take. Ja Morant is a top three PG and will win an MVP in the next 3 years.
The first homer take.
Mm. Top three PG, I can see, but maybe. But top three in MVP, I don't see at all. I understand he had a really good year, one most improved player. In my opinion, I'm gonna catch a lot of hate. I don't think he improves next year.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think he'll stay the same, maybe regress. Not, I don't want to say regress.
I'm about to say he's 22, like
I'm not gonna say
21.
regress. I don't think he'll just have that type of year again because he was in the MVP voting earlier in the year, I think, or close to it. But top three in the next 3 years, it had to be the third year. It definitely have to be the third year if it happened. But I don't see that happening. Um,
Um,
but
um, he was the top 3 point guard last season. He
so
was the
yeah,
top 3 point guard last season.
I can see that. Yeah,
I think we can consensus as a group as everybody watching the show. And I'm sure a lot of people are excited to hear me say that. Yes, of course he was. The John Morant fan base is unlike anything I've ever seen. The way that they talk about that guy, good grief.
Yeah, say we're the Memphis area, so we hear a lot of it.
All logic and all rational thought goes off out the window. But I like it. I like it. They ride for their guy. Um and MVP in the next 3 years. It's possible. I think it is possible. It is. A lot would have to go right. A lot would have to go right. And other guys would just have to not have that good of a season. You think of Giannis and Luka. I think Luka was my preseason MVP going into this year.
Okay.
And spoiler alert, he will probably be my preseason MVP going into next year, maybe. You got Jokic. Voters fatigue probably won't give him one next year, no matter what season he has. Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid has finished second over the past couple of years. Is it finally time for him to step up and win one? And then, of course, you have Giannis, who's always going to be there.
Yeah.
And then the older guys, if voters see a narrative that is enticing to them and their numbers are good enough for a KD or a LeBron
I
or a
would say,
Steph.
you think LeBron's got one more MVP in him?
MVP? No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Not to say that he's not great, of course. But no, I don't think he does. And that's completely fine. That's totally fine. But going back to Ja, top 3 point guard in general, I don't know. I don't
That's why
know.
it could be possible. I will say, I don't want to say injuries, but he did get hurt some this year, landing wrong and everything. If he stays healthy, I still don't see top 3. But if he stays healthy, he might can get in the top 5 conversation, maybe. I know
You don't think he's in the top 5 conversation right now?
maybe.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I think he's a top 5 point guard lock. I do. Top 3 is where it gets dicey, and I'm not really ready to rank players yet. We'll do that closer to when the season starts. But yeah, I don't know.
I will say, I know there was a lot of MVP. This is a homer thing. There was a lot of MVP talks heating up. I think we were at a few Memphis games this year. Something would happen. I'd stand up, I'd cheer, and then when I heard MVP, I'd sit down. When everybody started chanting MVP,
you're a hater.
I would sit right back down. And I was like, yeah, Joel. I had Joel, but see how that turned out. But just top 3 next 3 years. Wow. I'll admit it. I sat right back down. As soon as MVP started, I sat down like nothing happened. But I don't know. Just have to wait and see, I guess. I can understand top 5 point guard. I agree with that. Top 3, it does get a little. It depends, but just the MVP race in general.
Yeah. And the thing is, I can definitely see a world where it happens. I can.
Mm-hmm.
I can see a world where it happens, but thinking logically, thinking rationally, I'm gonna say no just because of the field of everybody else who could possibly win it.
Yeah, especially right now.
The thing too is he's so young. He's only 22 years old. Yeah. He has a 10-year span, hopefully, where he'll be able to snag one. I think he'll win one in his career.
Yeah, so I'm not ruling out he's not going to win one, but the next 3 years, I believe he will win at least one. But the next 3 years, I don't see it. See it the next 3 years.
Yeah. Hotness of that take, I give that like a 6 or a 7. 6 or 7 for me.
Yeah, I'll say about an 8, 7 or 8. Because I just don't see it happening. I mean, yeah, if they get back to 1-2 seed and just his numbers are there, I could see it, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't see him regressing, but I don't think it just be as good as last year, I'll say. Or he might be there, but I don't know how much he'll improve, maybe. I guess I'll say it like that.
Understandable. I get it. Moving on to my last take. Let's bring the Golden State Warriors back in so we could talk about them some more. It feels like we've been talking about them a good little bit. But the Golden State Warriors will repeat. That's what's been presented before us. And I've been thinking about that one all day. I've been thinking about what it would take for the Golden State Warriors to repeat. Um, in any NBA championship year, people like to put asterisks on championships because of injuries, because of, what certain teams, what teams they went through to get to the championship. Um, but with this Warriors team, I don't think that they had a super favorable deck. Maybe the teams that they played, the Celtics definitely went through a tougher gauntlet teams
Yeah,
wise, in
yeah,
my
I agree.
opinion.
I agree.
But Golden State, it wasn't favorable, I'd say, injury wise. They had Ja get hurt in the series, and the beat up Nuggets. But they beat the Celtics. They beat the healthy Boston Celtics
Right.
pretty
I
convincingly.
think they won last three in a row. I think
Yeah,
it
after going
was
down
two
2-1,
one.
they
They
took
won.
total control of that series.
I called it. I said they might win the next three. I got called crazy for it, but I was like, I think they can win the next three. But I still had them in six. But we'll see.
Yeah. Um, but let's look at the roster. Let's look at the Warriors roster. Of course, you
Okay.
got the core, who we talk about almost every episode.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's talk about young guys, though. Young guys who could potentially come into the fold. You've got Jonathan Kuminga, who going into the playoffs, Steve Kerr said that he wasn't really ready to get playoff action. He did end up getting some playoff
Yeah,
minutes. He
he
got a
got
playoff
some.
start in one game, in either the Memphis or the
Really?
Dallas series.
Hmm.
What will his role look like this year?
Yeah.
With Andre Iguodala getting older, you could slide Kaminga into that role. I think that he'd play probably more minutes than Iguodala did, and also losing Otto Porter
Yeah,
Jr.
so
and
Otto
take
Porter
some of
Jr.
his minutes
Yeah.
too. Talk about a guy like Moses Moody. You've had Damian Lee play some minutes in the past, and JTA take some of those minutes. I think Moses Moody could be slid in for those minutes, especially with the way that we've seen him play in summer league and with his development coming along as it has. And he got some action. He got some action in the Dallas series, which was kind of out of nowhere, but he was not bad on the floor.
Yeah.
Um, and then, of course, the big question is James Wiseman. What do
Yeah.
we expect from James Wiseman? There's no telling with him, but of course, he adds an element that they haven't had on that team in the whole time that that core has been there. On paper, it looks great. On
Yeah, it
paper, it
does.
really does. But what James Wiseman do we get when he comes back from injury? That's yet to be seen. So
I still think Looney's underrated. Trey.
definitely,
So
definitely,
especially
I think that's a given.
I think did he have I think it was like 20 rebounds against Memphis one game? 20,
He
22.
did in the closeout game, the
And
closeout
then
game 6.
Boston, they were getting killed, I think, on the was it the offensive glass, I think? Golden State was. They were getting killed on it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then him and Wiggins both just came out and started getting offensive rebounds out of nowhere. I really think it's underrated. His offense, it's I don't think he don't really shoot, does he? I didn't watch him a whole lot.
No,
I didn't
no.
watch a whole lot of I watched some games, but but just his rebound ability, I'll say, pick and roll. I really think it's underrated, mainly for his
He's
rebounding. But
no, listen, the most underrated thing about him is his passing. He's
really,
a top
okay,
5 passing big man in the league. He is.
okay.
Go
Like I said,
watch.
I
I
didn't
promise.
like I said, the playoffs, I watched some, but not every game. So but yeah, I really think it's underrated just from stats I saw and what I saw against Boston. I did watch most of the Boston series, if not all of it. So I really think it's still underrated and really good. I think it would still be really good for them.
Mm-hmm. With all that being said, got to look at the field again. Boston gets better. The Bucks get healthy. The Clippers get healthy. The Nuggets get healthy.
Right.
The field just makes it a little tough. It makes it
It
a little
does.
tough. And to repeat in general in any year is such a tough thing to do.
It does.
Because you got that target on your back. Everybody is going to play up to you. They want to play their best basketball against you.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think the Warriors repeat. I
I
don't think
don't.
they do. I'll go ahead and say that.
I don't.
the one time where I will blatantly say my opinion about a take, I don't think they will.
I don't either.
I could be wrong,
I think it
but
was.
it's so hard to repeat in any year. And the field just makes it where I can't see it.
Like I said, multiple teams got better. Minnesota, I guess you can say they got better.
I'm not throwing Minnesota in there. I'm sorry.
I about to say, I guess you can say they got better, but I will say losing Gary Payton and Otto Porter. But they did pick up what was his name?
They got Dante DiVincenzo.
Yeah, so they got him. So I don't see it happening either. I think there's still nothing, not a whole lot changed, but I don't see it happening.
Hotness of that take, I give it 6 because it's possible. It is. It could very well happen, but I'm just gonna say no. I don't think so. And I kind of like years. I don't like repeat champions just because of the element of excitement that the league has whenever a different team wins every year. So for the sake of fandom and the sake of just basketball enjoyment, I'm gonna say I hope they don't.
Yeah, so
I love the Warriors. I love watching the Warriors, but just for that sake, I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, I'll give about a 6 or a 7. I've never been a big Warriors fan. I did like them this year. I had them. They were my number 2 coming out the West, but they never been a big fan. I'm really glad they won though. Really glad. I would have been fine with them or Boston winning. Hurts me to say it. I really didn't want Boston to win, but they didn't just go.
The fan in you.
Yeah, they didn't go pay everybody like just super team. They drafted those guys, so I like seeing that though. I like seeing those teams succeed.
Right.
Yeah, I have 2 more takes.
Oh, okay.
I think
bonus take.
Bonus take.
Like it.
Okay, I'll do the bonus take. I'll do that one last. Okay. The Toronto Raptors still would have won the finals in 2019 if they had DeMar instead of Kawhi. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm giving it a 10 right now. I'm not waiting on the scale. I'm saying it now as a 10.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Oh, okay. I see this video all the time.
I'm sorry. That is crazy.
I see the video all the time.
Does someone believe that? Does someone actually believe that?
I hope not. Kawhi was just different that year in the playoffs. KD got hurt in the finals. Oh, the lucky bounce. Lucky bounce against us. And he traveled. I'm going to keep saying it. He traveled against us. They played Milwaukee next after Philadelphia, right?
Yeah. I did.
Who they play in the first round? Do you remember?
They played Orlando that year. They lost the first game to Orlando.
Okay.
But they won the next 4.
Second round against us. DeMar, they're not winning. I'm sorry, they're not. I like DeMar, but they're not winning. Kawhi, I don't know if he had the special juice stuff,
Okay. Let me paint you a picture. Kawhi Leonard, 2019. Me personally, in my opinion, that year, I regard him as the best player in basketball that year. I think he was. In that postseason, he was the best player in basketball.
I agree. The postseason, I definitely agree, yeah.
DeMar DeRozan, a great player, an all-star, was not touching Kawhi's level. Not even in the stratosphere of it. He's not. This is Kawhi. It's right here. This is Kawhi Leonard. I want everybody to see this. This is Kawhi Leonard. And down here off my screen is DeMar DeRozan. Not to say he's not great, but Kawhi was unbelievable in that 2019 postseason. Jacob, what he did to your team. What he did to the Bucks after being down 2-0.
And I
The
will say,
Bucks were going to the championship until Kawhi said, "No, no, you're not." Actually, and of course, who can be said about what it would be like if the Warriors were healthy? Say what you may, but the fact
I
is,
think they still would have won.
Kawhi was the best player in that series.
I still think they would
He
have won.
was.
Like I said, Kawhi that year, I don't know what it was, but he was just different. Like I
That
said,
is a crazy one.
I firmly believe if that bounce didn't go in, we would have won in overtime. I firmly believe
I
it. And it was game 7 too. I firmly believe it. That was especially Jimmy was there. Jimmy, Joel, Tobias, Ben.
I don't blame you for believing that. I don't.
I think JJ was there.
I think if Nurkic was healthy that year, we would have went to the finals. We were in the conference finals that year, but I think because we led in the fourth quarter of all the Western Conference Finals game, and it was double digits leads 3 times, and we got beat on the glass by like 50 combined between those 4 games in the fourth quarter. Cantor, it was Cantor, man. Ennis Cantor freedom now. I'm sorry, Ennis freedom.
Yeah, because I gave it a 10 already. No, we beat him in 5, maybe 6. No.
I mean, that's your take. That's if that's your take. I mean, do you? I guess, but
I need to be
whoa,
evaluated. Be evaluated.
I've never heard that before. See, most of these are ones that we've heard that have been surfaced, and people have been talking about them. But
should save this one for the
that
last
one
take.
is wow.
Should have saved that for the last take. I think we would have. If we would have won game 7, I think we could have went to the finals. I wholeheartedly believe it.
I don't blame you for believing that. All right, just do the bonus take. I'm ready to be done after that. Good grief.
I'm gonna have to go wash my ears and my eyes after this.
Yeah. Wow.
All right. So the last take is fun. Okay. Kevin Durant controlling his own career is, in quotations, respectable. Why not look out for yourself when no one else is?
All right, repeat that again.
All right. KD controlling his own career is respectable, and respectable is in quotations. Why not look out for yourself when no one else is? Or I'd say just why not looking out for yourself?
Okay.
I still don't let it live down when people talk about it. I did not agree with him going to Golden State at all. They were already the best
Nobody
team.
liked it. Nobody liked it outside of Warriors fans.
They were already the best team. Just stacked it even more. I think they were 73-9 the year before.
73-9 the year before.
So they just absolutely stacked that team. The cupcake narrative. I didn't like that. I was happy when he left because I knew they wouldn't. It's a good chance they wasn't going back anymore. Not anymore, but not as big of a chance. Then him going to Brooklyn, I wasn't mad at that. I wasn't mad. Then you got Kyrie and James. Wasn't a big fan of that either. But so I guess I see why right now because of the Kyrie situation. But they both stated they want to play with each other, even if it was elsewhere. So I don't understand it. So I don't know if it's the Brooklyn Nets organization causing the problem. Kyrie not, available to play, say if the mandate comes back in New York or Brooklyn.
Let's hope not.
So he can't play in Toronto either.
Right.
So who knows? I don't know if I'd say respectable. I get looking out for yourself. I get that money wise. It's a business money wise, but you just signed the contract. Just signed it.
This is the spiel that I'll give about it. At the time, I think I was like everybody else, and I was like, why in the world why would he do that to us? It's like he betrayed us. He didn't just betray Oklahoma City. He betrayed all of us.
Thing I don't like
Um,
about it is they were up 3-1. OKC was. Then they lost. I think they were up 3
to
1.
Golden State.
To Golden State. Then they blow the lead, they come back, and then you join them the next year. Hmm.
It's it's the feelings that I had at that time. Kevin Durant was my favorite player before that, so that changed my opinion about him. It did.
I liked him.
It changed my whole opinion on Kevin Durant. I I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand that 16-17 season just because we knew it was going to happen. We
He,
knew that the Warriors, they stacked the deck, so they were going to win. Same thing happened next year. The next year. We don't know everything though. Let me play
I'll
devil's
say, yeah,
advocate
we
though.
don't know
We
everything.
don't know everything about um front office situations or what was being said in Oklahoma City. And it's come out now. I've heard Kevin Durant say on multiple occasions that him and Russell Westbrook's they're friends. They're friends off the court, but
Okay.
sometimes that friendship was forced
That
just for the sake of the team. And Kevin Durant is such a genuine guy as it is. He's blunt. He's um, super dry. Um, he, he, I don't even know what to say
I'll say I agree
about
with
this one because in a way, I think it is. I think it is respectable because
I get
he
looking
he
out for
was looking.
yourself.
He knew that if he made that move, there was no way that it could fail. And although he turned into the villain, but when you think about the word respectable, probably
Me
not.
personally, I don't respect it. Now, if he goes to Sacramento and wins the championship, by all means, make him the greatest of all time. Not that
Yeah.
far, but you know what I'm saying. But and then his preferred destinations were Phoenix and Miami, number one seeds in both conferences the year
You see,
before.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
Really,
I
to
don't. I
Phoenix?
don't mind that because they're not super teams like we talked about. They're not super teams in my opinion.
Okay,
If he went there,
okay, I'll say this.
maybe it would turn into something like that.
Guess what?
But
Yeah, say okay. Say his contract ended this year. He went to Miami, not Miami. Okay, Miami. I can see he automatically becomes first option. Jimmy number two. I agree with that. Um, so I guess
Jacob, I don't mind it. I really don't. I don't
okay.
mind that
The
those are his
trade.
two teams.
Okay, the trades. Okay, I understand. The trade part of it makes it not a super team. But if you just leave and go sign somewhere like that, say you went to Phoenix
Right. That's
right
what makes
now,
it different.
right now, CP3, Devin Booker, Aiton, Bridges, plus KD.
Yeah, that's what makes it
So
different.
that's different. Now, if you give up Aiton, which probably not happening now, you give up Aiton, Bridges, picks. I think it was Cam Johnson. I think. Um. Okay, I understand that. It's D Book and KD. Chris Paul. Chris Paul's still really good on the back end, but he's still really good. Um. I wouldn't say respectable. I won't say respectable. But I understand though to the point where, like I said it might be the Brooklyn organization. I don't know if I've said it on the show before. It might be the Brooklyn organization. Harden wanted out. I know part was Kyrie. They had whatever going on. Then Kyrie wanted out. And then he didn't want out to leave KD. Then KD wanted out. So might be the organization. I have no idea.
Yeah. Here's what I'll end with. There are two sentences in that take. First one, KD controlling his own career is respectable. Um, I say no. I can't say that it's completely respectable.
Mm-hmm.
From a fan's perspective,
Yeah.
I can't say that it's completely respectable just because of the magnitude of what he did.
Yeah. So his perspective, I completely his perspective, he got a ring, 2 rings, 2 finals MVPs. Who knows if he would have stayed in OKC, if that would have
Right.
happened
Right.
again.
And that goes to the second sentence. Why not look out for yourself when no one is? We don't know what was going on
We
behind the scenes.
right.
He had run into a wall in the playoffs several times before. So from that perspective, I get it.
But that Golden
I
State team
get
was a
that
wall for
part.
everyone for a few years.
Yeah.
If he didn't go to Golden State, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. Him leaving OKC, I understand stuff happens. But to go to Golden State, are arguably one of the greatest teams of all time, best record ever. It's just that I don't respect. I can't. Like, it's just I understand though, career wise, you know, where it's good to play for you, organization wise, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it just depends. Like I said, if he would have went somewhere like trying to think of a team back then,
The Wizards.
something like that. They can make the playoffs, but they're not. You don't expect them to go to the finals. Something like that. I would have been completely fine with. But it's just already going to a stacked team that's already the best team in the league. I don't think the respect's there at all. Even Brooklyn, I don't know how much respect that is. I mean,
You don't think so?
like I said, it
When
might.
when he went there, it was just KD and it was just Kyrie with
Yes.
him.
Okay, I understand. And then James came in, and we'll see how that happened. Now Ben Simmons is there. Did him not playing impact that too? Because he could have been healthy. There was room him. He was supposed to come back first round. I think what game 4 or 5.
Yeah, they talked about it, but
But
like I said
then
before,
they expected him, and then he just sat out and chose not to play. Maybe. So I don't know. Which I can understand Brooklyn because you don't know what's going on. It might be the organization, but he did just sign a contract. I think last off season, before last, one of those. And in the playoffs, they've just seen Milwaukee last year, then Boston this year. So I don't know. I guess it's how he looks at it, I guess, of what he wants to do, what he thinks he needs to do, I guess, to get another ring.
this one is all about perspective. I think this one is
Yeah.
super subjective. Personally, hotness scale, I give it. I don't even know how to grade this one, honestly.
Yeah,
I
I
don't even know
don't
how to grade this one on a hotness scale.
because you
Um,
might think it's respectable, but you might not. It's just how you look at it, I guess.
right. Um, man, this has been a long episode. Some crazy, crazy takes have been brought up. I'm about drained. Just from reading all of these, going over all of them.
Like I said,
So
I got to go wash my eyes and ears out after this.
short outro. We'll see y'all next week. We'll have something planned. We'll have something fun planned. Crazy takes. Goodbye. Peace.
And peace. Yeah, I'll leave it.
Yes. Bye.